Norway has twice voted to stay out of the European Union, either because of economic concerns or because they still feel their independence is slightly fragile and they don't want to share sovereignty with other nations. This Oslo cafe was once the daily haunt of Norwegian artists and intellectuals, including the famously grumpy playwright Henrik Ibsen.
Superb. Look at that little picture of Ibsen on the front as well.
Yes.
Terrific. Thank you very much indeed.
Eating off Ibsen.
Over coffee and cake, I met the political journalist Marie Simonson. She's worked in Scotland and finds intriguing parallels.
When I was a correspondent in London, I went to Scotland and I recognized immediately the same chip on the shoulder.
As in Norway?
Yes. So that's, I think that's for small countries you always feel it's much more important to find your own identity than for larger nations. I recognize immediately the same traits that we have here in Norway, this inferiority complex, that the Scottish people felt that they were governed by London, by people that didn't understand them, that even maybe looked down upon them, and that they were exploited in a way as well.
So that's one possible vision for Scotland's future, independence Norwegian style. But that's not the only way to express identity, to encompass the Scottish soul. Back in Scotland, let's reflect. Scots retain a strong sense of identity right now, within the Union. Devolution is a response to that.
So will devolution prove to be enough? Let's go to find an example of a people content to blend their identity within a larger state.
This is Fort Worth, Texas. Folk around here say it's where the West begins. Texas was once an independent republic, but chose to join the United States.
The great American writer John Steinbeck said of Texas that it was a state of mind, an obsession, but above all a nation in every sense of the word. And yet, since 1845, Texas has been content to be part of the much wider United States, while still stressing and retaining that core Texan identity.
I'd worn the kilt to show my Scottishness and dressed up as a Morris dancer to tap into the soul of England. And so in Fort Worth, where the West is said to begin, I wanted to wear something to reflect the Western way of life.
Hi, they're good to see you. I'm Brian from Scotland.
Sir? Joe Peters.
Okay, Joe, can you fit me with one, as they say?
Sure, absolutely. You can tell where a Texan's from due to the shape of his hat.
Really?
Yes, sir.
But they're different.
They're different.
Like different tartans, you've got different
They're
hats.
different.
Do you feel yourself really Texan or American, or what would you say you are?
I'm definitely 100% Texan, sir.
Texan.
Yes, sir.
The Lone Star State.
Number one, you're an American.
Uh-huh.
But Texan is a place in your heart.
I've got a long tradition of habit of wearing hats in Scotland, but not one like that.
Well, now you have a cowboy hat for your collection.
Okay, here we go. Let's try it. Let's try it for real. Oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Really beautifully made, Joe.
Thanks
you, sir.
A million.
Very
Thanks
much.
a million. We appreciate
First class.
it.
It's brilliant. Great. What do you think, eh? Does that make me Texan? Nah, still Scottish, but it's a great hat. Great hat.
Suitably garbed, I sashayed off to witness a slice of Texan history, which helps explain why this once independent republic chose to join the American Economic Union. This is the Fort Worth herd, 16 native longhorn cattle, paraded through the city's historic stockyards twice a day, every day, each one representing a decade of the city's history. The Chisholm Trail began here. Cattle which sold for little in Texas would be walked north to market in Kansas City. Economic union allowing for free trade, the benefit of being part of something bigger, as the herdsman J.D. Brown explains.
Texas didn't have any money, but they had thousands of these longhorns just roaming wild. So what they just started to do is round all those up, began to brand and mark them and everything. People up north wanted beef. They wanted beef to eat. All those cattle that went up north, basically free for the taking. Once they started gathering them up, that's worth maybe $1 down here. But up there, about $40 a head. So that was great revenue for the state.
JD, thanks a lot.
Good to meet you.
Thanks for the interview. Good to see you.
From time to time, Texans like to talk of seceding from the Union, of going it alone again. It's not really a serious prospect, but it is a way of stressing identity, of expressing their Texan soul.
Love the tart.
Jimmy Marshall is a former US Navy pilot and a leading light in the Dallas Scottish Texan Society. More than 100 strong, they gather throughout the year. Jimmy is an expert at juggling a range of identities. In sentiment, he's a Scot, but he's an American, and most of all, in his core, he's a Texan.
There are other states that have a lot of, all states have state pride, but some more than others, but Texas is always recognized and sometimes it's resented by other states as they go, well, I'm from Texas, everything's bigger in Texas, everything's better in Texas.
Philip Fisk is another former serviceman who fought for his country in Vietnam. Proud of his Scottish roots, he also exemplifies a particular type of Texan.
For Texans that are native born, we are Texans first and Americans second. That really doesn't diminish our loyalty. It doesn't compromise our patriotism. It's just a state of mind.
For the host, all this talk of Texan independence and pride is just a way of winding up the rest of the country.
Texas is not going to secede from the Union. We're a country, but we are not happy with the way things are going, and they want to, again, poke the federal government in the ribs, say, hey, pay attention here, we're not happy with this. It's just friendly competition, and it keeps them on their toes.
And after such kind hospitality, I felt it was time to repay the debt.
O Flora, Scotland, when will we see your lights again, that fought and died for your wee bit hill and glen, and stood against him, proud Edward's army, and sent him homeward to think again.
Thank you very much for having us. It's really kind of you.